Episode 4 of Back to the Future, the game, starts you off captured by Edna Strickland, and you need to save Doc from being reprogrammed by her evil brainwashing machines. However, you're locked up and you really don't have any way to get out. Of course, in traditional Back to the Future fashion, breaking Doc out takes a little creativity, a little ingenuity, a little luck, and some help from your friends, and you go out doing it in grand style.
What was that? You! What are you doing?
Getting my friend out of here, you nutcase. Okay, that was a little less dramatic than I had expected. Whoa! Let's go, Your Honor.
What? I can't hear you!
You're welcome.
After escaping, Doc decides to go ahead and try and fix the DeLorean so you guys can go ahead and fix the timeline. However, since this version of Doc did not create the DeLorean, he doesn't really know how it works. But he gets to messing with it anyway, and he gets it up and running. And now it's time to go back to 1931. Once back in 1931, your goal is pretty simple. Break Doc and Edna up. This way, that should repair the timeline. Doc will go on to become a brilliant scientist, and Hill Valley will be a beautiful place that you remember. Or not. We will find out later on. The main puzzles in this episode are figuring out ways to break Doc and Edna up. Obviously, one of the best ways is to find a hotter chick and get Edna to think that Doc's fooling around with her. I'd do it that way. After a little finagling, Trixie is definitely the woman for the job. You do have to go through a couple other puzzles to figure out other ways to make Edna less attractive to Doc, and that'll eventually split them up. Towards the end of the episode, you go ahead and get Doc back on track with science, and he seems normal and everything seems okay.
It was sound, but the propulsion system was unworkable. But the lightning! Suddenly the answer is clear.
However, old Doc, or in this case Citizen Brown, goes ahead and starts rethinking this whole decision to break up with Edna. This leads to a very cryptic ending, which leads into a very interesting next episode. Overall, this episode is infinitely better than episode 3. The puzzles are a lot more challenging, the settings are much better, and overall it's more interesting. You know the goal, you know what you have to do, and you understand why. And you execute them all to perfection, only to realize that your best friend has betrayed you. The storyline in this episode is far better than that in episode 3, and I'm glad Telltale realized that they needed to take a little extra time to get this series back on track. Episode 5 looks to be a blast, and I can't wait to play it.